Here's last Sunday's message in 2 minutes-ish. So last Sunday, we talked about AI and what's coming with AI. We talked about the history of AI, the future of AI, projections, what's happening in the world, but most importantly, how as a Christian should we respond to AI? And to be honest, even though my 2-minute recap is generally not anywhere close to 2 minutes, there's no way that I could recap that message in anything that even resembles 2 minutes. That's the longest message that I've ever given. There was a lot of information, a lot to go on. But when it comes down to it, what the main point of it is this. As Christians going forward, when we look at things like technology and what its usage is and how can we use it, we need to consider more than just what we're being told by the world about it. We need to engage in critical thinking and really consider and ask ourselves serious questions about how this technology will affect our relationship with Christ. And this message was not meant to dissuade people from using AI or from using any technology. The idea of it is to get you to be aware of what's going on and to ask important questions. Things like, will this technology bring me closer to Jesus, or will this technology make it easier to sin and stay away from Jesus? Will this technology make it easier to depend on the technology rather than to depend on Christ? What will this do to my spiritual relationship with him? What will this do with my relationship with other people? How will this affect my living as being a part of a community in the body of Christ? There's a lot of things to consider before we just blindly jump into something and say, yes, I want to do this because it's shiny, it's new, it's exciting, it's billed as making my life better. And the real thing is to ask, does it actually make your life better? I mean, maybe it makes my life easier in certain aspects, but doesn't make it better. There's something called trivialization, which means that the more we rely or delegate skills out to something else, rely on or delegate those skills to something else, the more we will lose those skills. We don't want to lose the skills that make us human, the things that God has put into us to differentiate us from anything else on the planet. And so just go into AI with the idea of how is this going to affect my life spiritually? And as believers, our spiritual life, our spiritual condition should be far more important than anything else in this world. Maybe I can use AI to be better at my business, but in doing so, will it compromise anything and make me follow Christ less? Those are the kind of questions we want to ask and have answered. Plus, to look at what are the agendas of the people who are pushing forward this technology. How much do we want to engage in something if there are agendas behind it that are not completely wholesome? And spoiler alert, there are definitely some non-Christian agendas attached to AI, beyond the fact that the majority of usage of it is definitely not in accordance with the way God made us. So again, ask yourself questions, make sure that you do research. Make sure that as a believer, you are critically thinking and don't get fooled by AI systems claiming to not be AI systems. Make sure that you are able to differentiate between what's real and what's not real, and learn to rely on God to meet your needs and get wisdom from him. That's really the best way I could summarize this hour and 15-minute message that I gave. So, bye.